Ready? We'll start in a few minutes. Welcome, everybody. We'll start in a few minutes. Okay, we can get started. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining our Transforming Commercial Real Estate Solving the Top 5 CRM Challenges with Imperium Dynamics webinar. If you are new and joining us here today, we are Imperium Dynamics, a proud Microsoft partner based in downtown Chicago, dedicated to bringing your vision to life within the Microsoft stack. We help organizations of all sizes achieve digital transformation by solving complex problems and delivering long-lasting impact through the Microsoft Cloud solution, with a focus on increasing both the capabilities of people and the performance of businesses. Here is a quick overview of our agenda today, where we would explain the role of CRM systems in managing client relationships, showcase the top 5 CRM challenges, as well as highlight solutions within each challenge, and provide a recap of the benefits and the impact these solutions will provide for your CRM systems, and finishing off with a Q&A. But before that, a few housekeeping items. The session is being recorded, and after the webinar is over, you will receive an email with a link to access the recording. So feel free to revisit it or share with your colleagues. There will be a Q&A session at the end, so please feel free to submit all your questions throughout the presentation using the Q&A chat feature, and we'll address as many as possible. We'll also be sharing additional resources and a copy of today's slide deck after the session, so you don't have to be worried about taking detailed notes. Joining me again this week is our VP of Product, Sarah Camden-Howe. Welcome, Sarah.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's great to be with you all on this Friday afternoon, and we're looking forward today to talking to you about CRM in the commercial real estate space.
Thank you. And my name is Brittany Overa, and I am a marketing specialist here at Imperium Dynamics, joining from our downtown offices in Chicago. So with that said, let's get started. So in the commercial real estate industry, managing client relationships can be a complex and multifaceted challenge. Unlike many other industries, CRE involves long sales cycles, intricate deal structures, multiple stakeholders, and a need for ongoing client engagement post-transaction. This makes it essential to have a well-organized and efficient way to manage every interaction, communication, and piece of client data. The CRM systems are vital nowadays in addressing these challenges and enhancing how CRE firms or individual agents operate, ultimately leading to stronger client relationships, better deal outcomes, and improved operational efficiency. For example, CRM systems can help by storing and organizing client data, communication with not only your clients, but with your team as well, document management to help you workflow automation, and pipeline and data analytics. And with that, I wouldn't only say that it is important to have a good CRM system, but I would say it's vital to have a great CRM system that you and your team, can help you with client relationship management. For example, a great CRM system can help enhance client communication and engagement. It creates a more personalized form of client communication. It helps with compliance and document management, and it also helps with pre, during, post client management. And the most important one, it provides actionable insights. So with that said, we are touching base today on the top 5 CRM challenges that are very common in the commercial real estate industry, and provide solutions for these challenges and why you can benefit from them. So, challenge number one, fragmented client data. You or your firm can struggle with scattered and consistent client data across different platforms. For example, information from emails, phone calls, meetings, and other platforms might be stored in a lot of different databases, making it difficult for teams to get a clear and unified picture of your client's history and needs. Different teams within the organization, like sales, property management, and legal, may have their own way of tracking and storing this client data, leading to data silos. So with this, Sarah, can you please provide a couple solutions and how they can benefit from this?
Yeah, absolutely. So Dynamics CRM includes a really powerful feature of kind of unifying data from different sources and bringing them all together and giving you, we call like a unified customer profile. And that merges all of the information from, the contact center, the marketing channels, and the sales interactions, along with any other integrated data sources for which, Microsoft provides thousands of connectors to different systems out of the box, but then we can always use Power Automate and other tools to very easily establish connections into any other systems to bring that full picture of data. So you can see here on the screen kind of an example of the types of metrics and KPIs and ratings and that we can get to kind of summarize and give a holistic picture of our relationship with a specific client or partner. And then another side of it is the timeline. So our timeline kind of shows all the interactions with this person, anything from website visits, form fills, to phone calls, meetings, emails, text messages, or any other types of interactions is all there in that timeline. So anyone who views that profile can kind of get the whole story of the relationship with this individual. So that just really helps to give full visibility across the team and make sure that you're providing a united front in terms of how you're communicating with a specific customer.
Amazing, thank you. And on to challenge number two, which is inefficient lead and deal tracking. The difficulty of tracking leads and managing deal pipelines can lead to missed opportunities and lost revenue. So leads may come from various sources such as website inquiries, referrals, or networking events. But without a structured process to track and prioritize them, many get lost in the shuffle.
Absolutely. And Dynamics does provide a lot of different features that help address this challenge. But I think, one of them, lead scoring, definitely super important because we want to make sure that we're spending our on the leads or opportunities that are the most likely to close. So we can have lead scoring models set up to help us rank our different leads according to different criteria and make sure we're really spending time and making sure we're touching the ones that are really warm and hot. And then aside from that, we also have business process flows, and these help us to kind of standardize our process across the organization and make sure that we're following the right steps in the sales process and interacting with each lead or opportunity in the right way at the right time. So that's all overall, structuring our sales process and making sure that we're able to get those conversions with a more strategic approach, as well as documenting everything and being able to forecast really accurately.
Great, thank you so much. Now, challenge number three, compliance and document management. Ensuring that every deal, lease, or transaction is compliant involves extensive documentation, which can quickly accumulate and become difficult to manage. So there can be a lot of regulations often involved with tenant laws, property leasing, environmental codes, financial reporting, and other legal framework that must be followed precisely. These documents often need to be stored, tracked, updated, and accessed by multiple stakeholders, both internally and externally across various phases of a deal. Documents may be misplaced, outdated, or incomplete, which can increase your chance of legal penalties, fines, and delay deals due to noncompliance. So with that, a couple solutions.
Absolutely. So one of the kind of standard ways to address document management in a lighter way would be to use, the embedded SharePoint documents within the CRMs from within your contact record or your opportunity record. Right, you can see all of the documents and files in that deal folder within your SharePoint site or team site. And then we also have a product called Acadia that leverages the power of AI to really significantly reduce the time and difficulties within the document management process and contracting process. So it allows you to talk to your contract. You can ask questions about it without, having to read through the whole document every time. It allows you to summarize things, and it also helps with making sure that the right people are editing the right parts of the document. So it has embedded review process, sign-off process, approval processes, all of that very seamlessly integrated together within the CRM. So that's reducing, the time it takes. Sometimes, one contract can take, months to get it signed off and approved by all the right people. So this is really significantly reducing time for that. And it's also helping with making sure that we're proactive when it comes to all of these compliance documents and making sure that we're up to date and on track with any of those renewals or expiring documents.
Thank you. With that, challenge number 4, poor client communication and engagement. Maintaining inconsistent and meaningful communication with clients across multiple channels. So for example, you may struggle with inconsistent communication due to diverse range of channels clients prefer to use, such as email, phone calls, text messages, and nowadays even social media. So this fragmentation can lead to several challenges like inconsistent messaging, missed opportunities for engagement, lack of personalization, difficulty in tracking interactions, and limited feedback mechanisms. So with that, Sarah, can you please show us some solutions and benefits?
So from Dynamics, we have all of those channels integrated within the marketing function. So we can send text messages, WhatsApp messages, any of those different types of communications directly from within the CRM. And then we also have, so all of that is going to be going into that unified profile and showing in that timeline of interaction. So there's complete visibility. You can also use, templates, automation, and things like that to speed up the actual drafting, and even Copilot with AI help to support those responses. So it's really speeding up the time it takes to not only send those communications out, but it also helps you to automate and standardize those tasks as well. We have Sales Accelerator that you can define a flow of touch points that you want to execute for different types of leads, and then it will automatically create those emails or tasks. So your sellers are just having to go in and see a work list and kind of do a final review and send them out, rather than spending their time thinking about which deals need some follow-up, and make sure that nothing kind of slips through the cracks there. And then we're also integrated with Outlook directly. So any emails that you send back and forth with clients in your Outlook, you can track to those leads, contacts, accounts, or opportunities. And then you can also send your emails directly from there. And it's just going to send through your Outlook inbox, but it's going to track it. And again, in that timeline.
What a great solution. Thank you. And finally, challenge number 5, limited reporting and analytics. So the manual effort to report on sales pipelines, the lack of advanced reporting analytics needed to gain insights into businesses' performance. So you might have data, but do you have the right kind of data? So this can kind of mean the inability to access comprehensive and actionable data can often hinder decision making and strategic planning. Key issues can include fragmented data sources, lack of real-time data, limited customization, data overload, insufficient predictive analytics, and difficulties in measuring KPIs.
Absolutely. So we do have a number of out-of-the-box dashboards that come with both Imperium CRM and with Dynamics Sales. So those provide lots of sales level insights on your quotes, your opportunities, and give you some of those forecasts around what your expected revenue would be for this quarter, next quarter, this year. And then it also gives you metrics around, the number of leads, opportunities, closure rates, and things like that for each of your sellers. But then with Power BI, we then get a lot more advanced capabilities. We can bring in more data sources, and we can get more granular and custom with how we're reporting and what types of KPIs that we're building into those dashboards and reports. So overall, a lot of tools to not only save time on manual effort, right? Like if we're not using a CRM, then there's a lot of work that goes into creating a report in Excel. So we're saving that time, and then we're also able to give more advanced analytics and more holistic data with Power.
Great, thank you so much. So here is a quick overview of some of our current customers that we are helping achieve great CRM systems, whether it is through specific products or services. We are a proud connector between system tools and people. Where we strive is in listening to your problems and providing customizable solutions that can help you and your team. So with that said, we have now gathered here in the Q&A section of our webinar. So if you have any questions, please feel free to include them in the chat and we can answer those. Okay, so one of the questions is, how does your CRM integrate with existing systems we might already be using for client data management?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, right, Power Automate provides connectors into thousands of different systems to make it really easy to bring that data in and have an integrated experience. And then for some of the specific ones for commercial real estate, I know like Yardi has a native connector into Power BI as well. So that really supports that reporting process that we were just talking about. And then it's also very simple to build integrations using Power Automate as well.
Great, thank you. And another question we got was, what security measures are in place to ensure client data is protected, especially when dealing with sensitive commercial real estate transactions?
Yeah, so within Dynamics and any Power Platform solution, it's hosted in Azure, and you have your own data in your own tenant. So you have your own environments as well, and you can define who can access those different environments, and each environment can have its own set of data. So there's environment level security, and then within the environment, we're assigning security roles to the actual users or teams of people who are accessing it, and we're defining very granular privileges for what they can create, read, update, delete, or so forth. And those can be extremely detailed up to the field level. And so we have extreme control over who can see what. And it's very easy to create that security level. And we also have, business unit options, hierarchical structures based on your role or your position or your department. We can pretty much configure it to support any type of security scenario that you might have.
Awesome, thank you. Another question is, can your CRM handle multiple stages in the lead and deal pipeline? And is it customizable to fit our unique process?
Absolutely. Within Dynamics, we get some out-of-the-box processes that we can either customize, leave as is, or we can just completely change. We can have multiple different business process flows for the same type of record, such as an opportunity, and we could have those, differentiate based on some type of attribute like a type or the sector, whatever it might be that's differentiating how we interact with those different deals. So we can totally customize those stages, and it's going to be a match to your exact sales process and how you do business. So yeah, it's completely flexible and easy to kind of make those changes and support your true process.
Another question was, how does the system use AI to provide insights, and can it offer predictive analytics for future market trends and deal performance?
Yeah, so there's many ways that we can use AI within the Microsoft ecosystem. When we're talking about, dynamic sales, right, we have embedded AI models that we can turn on in the sales insights. So those can provide predictive opportunity analytics, lead scoring. They can give you, opportunity health insights, suggest next actions for those opportunities. Lots of things there, predictive forecasting. And then we also have Copilot for sales, which allows us to take advantage of the drafting capabilities of AI for generating content for our emails and other types of communications. We can also get AI-based insights on our actual calls, and this is something really valuable in the sales realm, that you can see how much was I talking versus the client, what was the overall outlook, were people happy, did they seem upset, and you can get lots of different analytics around how your interactions are going with them in the actual meetings. And then we also have OpenAI, where we can make our own custom models and leverage those against our own data. For example, we've worked with a customer in the commercial real estate space that we used AI to help them pull out information from the documents in the contracting stage to make sure that they had all of the right documents, the right information tracked, and all of those different metrics and KPIs that they needed to even qualify as a valid deal, automatically populated, and saving lots of time for the reps.
Great. So, can you provide more information on the solution for challenge number 3? You mentioned Acadia and how it provides AI support.
Yeah, absolutely. So this solution is really to support the end-to-end process of creating a document. So you can use the AI features to help you draft the content for the document. You can control which users or people can edit which parts of the document. So if you have, someone from one department editing like the legal terms and someone from another department doing like the contract levels, like service details, right? You can have those permissions assigned. And then we have Azure OpenAI reading the whole document, and you can basically chat with your documents. You could ask it questions about it, and it can help you to understand like where the document is, any areas that are maybe missing information or need to be strengthened. And then we also have a feature where you can compare the versions of two drafts side by side. So if you revise a document, right, and you're going through that redlining process, you make those changes. So it can highlight exactly the lines that were changed and give you the comparison of what it was before and after to help with that approval and review process, right? Rather than just sending a new version, someone has to reread the entire document again. Now they can just look at those specific lines that were tweaked and see the comparison of what changed. So those are a few examples of how we're using AI within that workflow, but it is really powerful, and it's something that, contract management is something that every organization struggles with. It's definitely, a bottleneck across the board when it comes to moving deals through. So that is a really good application of AI.
Amazing. Thank you. Another question we have is there a way to build sequences and flow charts so that you can automate emails and cut off the following emails when they respond?
Yeah, so we have multiple ways of doing this, right? One would be with Sales Accelerator, that we can define a flow of touch points. And it doesn't just have to be emails, but it could also include like phone calls or other activities. So you can define those sequences and then assign them according to, the type of lead, the type of opportunity, the account size, and so forth. And so your sellers get like an automated task list of those follow-ups that they need to take. So that's one way. And then of course we have, Dynamics Customer Insights Journeys, which allows you to do automated marketing campaigns, and you can pretty much drag and drop a whole flow of or sequence of emails or other types of interactions, and you can branch it based on how the customer interacts with the campaign materials as well. So there's a couple examples there. There's many ways to automate within the Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem, but those are probably the two easiest solutions from a sales perspective.
Great, thank you. And then the last question was, you mentioned Imperium Dynamics Starter CRM and Dynamics Sales Hub. Can you explain the difference and what would be the best system for each industry or number of employees in a company?
Absolutely. Dynamics 365 Sales Hub is a very advanced and robust CRM, right, that has all of these embedded AI features. So that's really great for either organizations that are trying to advance their CRM, or maybe they have a lot of employees and they're managing different teams and departments. That's a really, really great fit there. It's a very powerful platform. And it's connected with Dynamics customer service, with Dynamics marketing. So there's like the end-to-end coverage kind of from a customer standpoint. And then, so that's really great for larger organizations, organizations with larger sales teams or who have more advanced processes. But we also work with clients who maybe don't even have a CRM yet, right? If you're working in Excel or Outlook and you're just trying to adopt a CRM to kind of bring that standardization, bring that visibility. So that's where Imperium Starter CRM can play a role, because this one is based on Power Platform. So it's a light, simpler version of Dynamics to help organizations kind of get used to using a CRM. It's aligned similarly with the processes in Dynamics Sales. So we have a whole roadmap and path towards adopting Dynamics in the future once you kind of grow and scale to that size or level where you would need the full Dynamics capabilities. But the starter CRM is, like the name says, right? It's helping you understand how to use a CRM, figure out what you want, and kind of like get you using it, get you on the platform. And then from there, you can grow and expand into it. So, people or organizations that have maybe, 3 to 5 people on their sales team, not like a very, very large group, often use this one. But we've even had, like 500-person companies using Starter CRM as well, where their sales team is just on the smaller end. So it really depends on your specific scenario and what you're looking to get out of your CRM or where you are in your CRM journey. But we do have both of those options available.
Great, thank you so much for all of those insights. And with no questions left in the chat box, we can continue. Well, thank you so much for joining our Transforming Commercial Real Estate, Solving the Top 5 CRM Challenges with Imperium Dynamics. In this webinar, we explore the top 5 CRM challenges that you might be experiencing and provided solutions in order to achieve greater efficiency, engagement, and productivity. We hope that you have received valuable insights and learned something new within the CRM systems in the commercial real estate industry. By partnering with Imperium Dynamics, you gain access to innovative solutions that address these challenges head on. Thank you everybody for joining, and we hope to see you in our next webinar. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you. Take care.